Hi there guys, welcome back, and we're now going to talk a little bit about what kind of electric guitar you can pick up and some good ideas in terms of guiding you for your first electric guitar as well when you start learning. Okay, so what I've got on me today, this feels very special to me because this is actually my first guitar. This is called a Yamaha Pacifica. It was the first, the first electric guitar I ever got. I got it about 3 or 4 months after getting an acoustic guitar, so literally 3 or 4 months after starting. I was so into, blues and rock and these kind of sounds that I just wanted to be able to play that. So I got the electric guitar, and the reason I want to show you this guitar is because I think it's a really good example of a guitar that can really last. You can see, firstly, I've got it right here. I still use this guitar. I still pick this up, especially when I'm on holiday and chilling out, and I don't want to take a guitar of massive value away from me. When I was playing this, when I was younger, so when I was 15, 16, when I first got it, I would gig with this. I think for 3 or 4 years before I upgraded to a Fender Strat, I gigged with this guitar and it was absolutely spot on. So I just want to talk about why I like this guitar and maybe give you some advice as to what you're looking for when you're looking for your first guitar. Now, first of all, the key thing with any first instrument you pick up is that it's relatively easy to play and it stays in tune, okay? So as long as you've got a fresh pair of strings on it that will help it stay in tune nice and easily, it kind of just goes and goes in terms of tuning. It really isn't a problem. There was originally a kind of whammy bar here, you can see on the edge of the guitar where you have the, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's called a whammy bar. It's just a metal rod that you use to bend the strings in and out of tune. We kind of got rid of that. That's not a good idea for beginners because that is something that could knock your guitar out of tune. So they just kind of removed that, didn't put it in. After that, it's absolutely fine. So when you're talking about a guitar that stays in tune well and is relatively easy to play, this one does the job. Squire Strats are really good as well for this kind of money. Remember, we're talking nothing more than £200 here for a brand new guitar. If you have a friend or if you've got one of our YJ tutors or a tutor that knows a bit more about what they're doing, you can always, of course, ask them to kind of guide you towards a second-hand guitar that they think will be really good. But if you're on your own and you're going into a guitar shop and you're buying something new, I would suggest this kind of Pacifica, this Yamaha Pacifica, a Squire Strat, something like that. And I'll suggest it for those reasons I just said, plus it gives you really good tonal options. So at this stage of your guitar career, you don't know if you're going to be a rock player, a blues player, a funk, punk, rock, whatever it is, this gives you a lot of options. So if you look at these pickups here that are on the guitar, you can see we've got 2 single coils and a humbucker. Okay, now I'm not going to get in any way technical, mainly because I simply can't. I don't understand it. That's definitely for the gear corner section. But essentially, the single coils give you a wide variety of tones. If I just show you through some of these, if I just play a basic chord, just the G major, and I go through the different pickups, we get all these different sounds, and then when I get to the back here, we get this humbucker, which is a massive sound. That's typically your kind of rock sound. And so on. So the thing is that this is such a nice wide variety of tones that no matter what you tackle as a beginner, you're probably going to be able to get the right sound, roughly. So that's again why I really like the Pacificas. Also with Strats and Squire Strats, you'll get 3 pickups. You just won't necessarily get the double pickup, the humbucker at the back, okay? So, this is what I personally think is a really good idea for a starter guitar. And there's loads of options, there's tons of options. And just like the advice I said about the acoustic guitar, go into a guitar shop, have a chat with the guy behind the counter. They know what they're doing. They're going to sell you something that is good and works. So, that's always good advice, but just generally, these guitars work and they kind of, well, they sell themselves really. They're brilliant guitars. The other thing to bear in mind is how does it look? Okay, so that's a big thing, isn't it? So again, just like with the acoustic, if you've got a really cool looking guitar that is in your living room or in your bedroom and you just go, I just want to pick that up, then it's going to make you want to play. So that's a big part of it. So even though it maybe makes sense to go for something that's tonally varied like this, you might walk in and see an Epiphone, SG or a Epiphone Les Paul or something and go, oh, that looks like Jimmy Page's guitar, and I love Jimmy Page, so I want to pick up the guitar. And that, you know, that's an important thing. If it makes you pick up the guitar, then that's great. Just be sure that it stays in tune well and is relatively easy to play. So that's something that you want to run by the guy in the shop and, you know, try for yourself as well. I picked up this one because at the time I was madly listening to Eric Clapton, and this looked to me like Blackie, the Clapton Strat, and therefore it made me, you know, want to pick it up and learn how to play like Eric Clapton. So, you know, whatever works for you, whatever your heroes, whatever they play, you can normally find a budget or cheaper guitar that is good enough to start with and looks kind of similar enough to that guitar that it makes you go, yes, I really want to pick that up. So hopefully amongst all of that, there's some good advice in there and something that makes you, you know, think about what you're going to buy. But again, if you get something nice and varied like this that stays in tune, plays easily, it means you can use it for 3, 4, 5 years, you know, all the way through, even up to the point where you're gigging if you want to, before having to even upgrade. So, hope that helps you guys, and I'll see you next time.